again, students. We're going to read the final chapter of The Dragons of Blue Land. It's kind of a long chapter, too. It's chapter 11. But before we do, I wanted to introduce you to my doggies. Dixie, look over here. Come here, girl. This is our dog, Dixie. She's a rescue dog from the Quincy Animal Shelter. Very nice, good dog. She's 4 years old. And then here's Pluto. She's sort of a rescue dog, too. Somebody in the Walmart parking lot 3 years ago was giving her away. She needed a home. So she's obviously a girl, too, and her name is Pluto. They're both fixed. They'll never have babies, and that's okay. And I love them very much. So I'm going to go ahead and read the story to you now. Let Dixie will probably want to go out. She likes to hang out in the living room. And Pluto hangs out with me in here. Go ahead. Okay, let's get reading because this is kind of a long chapter. And if you recall correctly, Elmer successfully rescued the dragons, got them out of that cave, and the men were afraid and they were running. So we're going to read, now chapter 11 is called, and earlier you probably heard me say the dragon affair. And that's exactly what chapter 11 is called, the dragon affair. Because, well, you'll find out, okay? So I'm going to read from here. There's no pictures right now. Elmer ran up to the tunnel to Boris, and away they flew before the noise had stopped echoing among the mountains. Well, that's that, said Elmer, panting for breath and reaching for his second box of fig Newtons. Gosh, Elmer, I can't thank you enough, said the dragon. Never mind that. I never had so much fun in my life. But you'll have to hurry me back to Seaweed City. I have to take the train home as fast as possible. Over the desert they flew, and the wind grew stronger and stung Elmer's face. I think a storm's coming up, said the dragon. I can smell the sand in the air. Wonderful, cried Elmer. The men will have to leave Blue Land, and maybe you'll never be bothered again. Over spiky mountain range they sped, reaching the outskirts of Seaweed City at midnight. How about leaving you on top of the monument, suggested the dragon. Then I won't have to land on the ground. Fine, said Elmer, and the dragon glided onto the top of Seaweed City Monument, overlooking the center of the city. So on your maps, you will see, right there, it says monument. Monument, of course, is usually a large statue, some kind of large object that, well, it's usually some kind of inspiration or something dedicated to someone famous or someone who's done good. Anyway, so there's that monument. I don't know if you can see it real well, but if you have your maps, go ahead and take a look. Goodbye for the last time, said Elmer. I'm sorry that I never really got to see your family. They must be magnificent. But tell them from me that nobody will ever know more about them than they do right now, except for our friend, the old alley cat. I'll tell her all about it. Goodbye. I better hurry home too, sobbed the happy baby dragon. He clumsily hugged Elmer and off he flew. Oh, he's crying. He loved Elmer. They were such good friends. Elmer finished up the fig Newtons, saving one box for the train, and climbed down the monument. Quickly, he walked to the railroad station and asked for a ticket to Nevergreen City. This guy's not in jail. In, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago, when you used to go to train stations, the ticket people that sold tickets often stood behind bars like that. So, just, he's not in jail. He's just a ticket seller. Isn't it rather late for a boy of your size to be taking the train alone? Asked the ticket agent. I suppose so, answered Elmer, giving the man $7.27. That's what he had left from earlier. The man shrugged his shoulders and handed Elmer a ticket. I can't get used to boys these days, he muttered. By the way, there's a train in 20 minutes. Gets you down in Nevergreen at noon. Thanks, said Elmer, jingling the 9 cents he had left in his pocket as if he were used to taking trains in the middle of the night. Okay, he got 9 cents in change. Gave him $7.27. So apparently the cost of the train ride was $7.18, because if you take away 9 cents from $7.27, that's what you get. Then the train thundered into the station. Elmer climbed aboard. What are you doing? Running away from home? Asked the conductor suspiciously. Oh, no, sir. On the contrary, I'm on my way there now, said Elmer, looking the conductor straight in the eye. Have it your own way, said the conductor, punching the ticket. They used to punch tickets, too. Elmer slept right through to Nevergreen City. He walked up the front steps of his home just as his mother was making herself some lunch. Elmer, you're back! But you look half-starved. I am, said Elmer, hugging his mother and sitting down at the table. He ate 3 bowls of tomato soup, 5 slices of pumpernickel bread, 4 glasses of milk, 6 fried eggs, and 2 huge pieces of sponge cake. Then he went to talk to the cat. It wasn't until the next morning that the dragon affair came out in the Nevergreen City News. Listen to this, yelled Mr. Elevator, reading aloud at breakfast. A fantastic and unexplainable escape took place in the great high mountains of Blue Land late Sunday night. 15 dragons, a wonder in themselves as they have long been believed extinct, and the newspaper story went on to tell about the brave men who had fought their way back through treacherous sandstorms to tell the most momentous story of our time. Unbelievers who doubt this story, continued Mr. Elevator, reading aloud from the newspaper, will find it difficult to believe or difficult to dismiss the following supporting evidence of the presence of dragons in this region. Then he proceeded to read about a ship stationed off the coast of Popsicornia, which twice had sighted a strange flying beast, once with a boy on top, and about a certain Mr. Wagon Wheel, who claimed also to have seen it twice, once on the ground near his farm, and once in the air with a boy aboard over Seaweed City, and about Chester DeWitt, a small boy who also claimed he'd seen the dragon over the city the preceding Thursday evening. Lastly, there was a short bit about the conductor and the ticket agent, who wondered if the boy they had seen late Sunday night could have anything to do with the case. and so on. Mr. Elevator dropped the paper and stared at Elmer. Did you have anything to do with all this? I just don't understand your strange trips away from home. Me? Said Elmer, choking on a piece of toast. Why, Father, you don't mean you really believe all this nonsense, do you? The end. So there's Mr. Elevator, Elmer's dad, reading aloud from the newspaper so that Mrs. Elevator and Elmer hear all about it. And Mr. Elevator just realized that his own son had been gone away, and that maybe he was the one involved with the dragon. And anyway, that is the end of the 3 books. There's a picture at the end, but that was earlier in the story too. And they, of course, suggest that if you want to read more, there's My Father's Dragon, which was the first book, and we already read in class. And, of course, the second one was Elmer and the Dragon. And that's where they go to that island, and all the canaries. The only living things there are canaries. And they have king and queen and then other people. And then they make it back home. But, unfortunately, Elmer's family is trapped in a cave. But they took care of it, didn't they? So, I think it'd be fine if you want to keep your map and keep a picture of the dragons and think about the colors. I've already gone over the colors several times. Pretty sure you kids remember. But that is such a lovely story. So that is the end of it, though, and I will be making more videos, so, okay? All right, kiddos. See you next video.